Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we traverse the stars to a place unknown. I didn't think this through. How's it going, everybody? I don't know, something, Babylon 5, Star Wars, Stargate, I don't know. Anyways.
Starship fucking Troopers.
Hell yeah.
I feel highly offended about all of this right now.
Starship Troopers is the anti-Star Trek.
Honestly,
what's the Galaxy Quest thing?
A Galaxy Quest is meant to be like a parody.
Yeah, I know.
So hi
we
guys.
have a couple of guests this time.
Yeah, we're doing Geek Addicts again. We got.
Oh shit! I thought this was 3DO. I'm sorry.
I don't even think there is a Star Trek game on 3DO.
I wish.
But yeah, so once again we have Matt's wife, Cyndi, is joining us, and
Howdy.
my co-host from the 3DO experience, Thrak, is here. How's it going, Thrak?
Hi, what's up? I'm not doing shit,
you know.
so yeah, I'm just chilling.
And I'm not drunk and aggressive this time. Sorry about last
Late
time.
on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
This time.
I
Actually,
had
that
to-
episode just came out this week.
it did.
Yeah, I couldn't even. I listened to part of it. I was like, I can't. I'm so fucking. I was too much. I'm sorry. I got excited, and I was drinking.
See, I'm just waiting for Alex to just crash an episode again, but
Yeah.
anyways,
Is she in the background?
no, she's not here today. She's at home sleeping, probably.
Okay. Unless there's some Star Trek One Piece crossover we don't know about.
Yeah, unless I don't think
I
Alex
would
really.
die.
That'd be
knows?
fun.
I'm not even sure if Alex watches like space-themed animes, to be honest. But
It's all right. Sci-fi is not for everybody.
This is true. This is true.
yeah. Any crazy life events happen before we start? Or
I'm drinking the root beer flavored liquid death.
that's fun.
Yeah,
It's so bizarre to me. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It just
Yeah, it's fine. Aaron asked me to because me and him did like a root beer tier list forever ago. So
Sorry.
I listened to that episode.
yeah, if I were to add this to that tier list, a high C or a low B, I'd have to look at it again.
I had to put tires on my car today. That
Hey,
was
every now and then
fun.
I get a hankering for high C, so it's fine.
Oh,
I never
Husky
get a
does
hankering
have-
for high C, like ever.
Oh. Well, that's because
Never.
you're from like Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. So that's
Oh.
okay.
Give me Riz.
But Midwesterners hate high C? I didn't know this.
I have no idea. I'm a masshole, so I am judging you. I don't even know you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Did you know he was
Also-
from Ohio? Or did you just guess? I'm just curious.
He said,
I think I
I know
mentioned it
that-
offhand, I think, at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm trying
from
to get people straight and like figure out who's who, and so I do it by where you're from, and you don't sound weird like the rest of us. So
Sure. Yeah,
We
whatever
sound
that means.
weird.
Well, Bill doesn't either.
your lack of accent.
Yeah.
Well, whenever
yeah.
Bill-
my
whenever
accent is
Bill's
the lack of accent. Yeah.
Whenever Bill's like, "Oh yeah, my Boston accent," I'm like, "What Boston accent?"
Yeah, you sound. He reminds me of Chester. Like he. Sometimes you have it, but you actually talk pretty proper.
My accent is only ever noticed when I go down like south, and people are like, "You don't sound like us," and I'm just like,
you don't
thanks.
sound like a.
I've been
"Thanks."
there.
And I live in the area where if you want to get into news broadcasting, they force you to come here to get rid of your accent.
Yeah. See, oh,
'Cause it-
see.
Because this area that I'm in is the most neutral for like the American accent, you know.
Yeah. Oh, they'd have fun with me. Like when I lived in Maine as a kid, they tried to fix me because I had like a Boston sound because I was a kid and my dad, like, we're from Mass. And now I have this weird mixed accent. Like if I go into Maine, I start talking like them. And I sometimes have this like Canadian thing, which like I'm not, just because it was close proximity, I heard it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I go to Maine, it changes. And I try to fix the way I talk, but I can't help it. They confused me, the public school system.
Oh, so I watched.
Yeah, you're fine.
I watched the most unhinged anime last night.
What
was that? Golden
So
Boy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We can talk about it now.
What is it?
So it's a 6-episode like OVA. It's very short, but
What's it
it's Golden Boy. It's on Crunchyroll. It is
Study.
It's literally like the best way I think I saw someone describe it is it's like if a guy had like anti-Riz, where like it's literally
the first time I looked it up on Wikipedia, it said it's not technically hentai, but there is some titillation.
That's the way to sell the show.
So basically, Golden Boy is based on this phenomenon in Japan. I forget what it's exactly called, where these guys like they're like college aged or whatever, but they just get on a bike and just bike through Tokyo, like pick up odd jobs and just meet random people and just kind of just wander around. And this guy does that, and somehow during that he meets like the most like booby ladies you've ever met in your life, and has like the most interesting interactions with it. It's crazy.
The motorcycle scene is like I was.
I knew you'd like that scene.
Well, my favorite part is the race where like
he should have died. He should have fucking died.
There's a race going on where she's like beating him handedly, and then she looks over and he's on top of a fucking power line, just pedaling away. And I'm just like,
he goes over that like really high cliff. It's crazy.
Oh, the best part too is he ends up like going off into the distance, and she's like, someone actually was that crazy to do it. Like,
yeah.
She's like, I want.
Oh yeah, and she rides the motorcycle as it's the only thing that gets her off.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Wow.
Though from what I've heard, the anime is good. Don't read the manga because the manga goes really far and actually kind of hurts Kintaro as a character. Because he's meant to be this kind of lovable buffoon, you know, like that's the idea. Who's a little creepy, but not. It's played for laughs. You know what I mean?
He has a toilet fetish.
Yeah,
he has a toilet fetish. It is the
in the manga, he like gets cucked, and it's like kind of weird.
That's so bizarre.
It is the weirdest.
I don't even want to know what a toilet fetish is because there's so many. I don't know. I don't want to.
Just look up Chuck Berry and you'll find out.
No, thank you. I'm gonna keep myself off of Google on that one.
Johnny be good.
But yeah, I watched Golden Boy and it was an experience.
Jesus.
I do love that anime. It's like one of like 3 that I've watched in full.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that every time he's like this close to scoring with the girl and then he leaves right before it happens.
Yeah, because he's oblivious. He doesn't know.
Then the dub is so fucking hilarious because they overact everything and it's great.
It's so good. I forget the name of the guy who did Kintaro, but he was brilliant.
Oh, speaking of anime, Bill, I want to double check with you. How many books are there for Solo Leveling right now?
Currently out or in total?
Currently.
11.
In English?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. Well, I went to the local library today and they had up to 8. So I took out the first 4. I couldn't help myself.
I read it through totally legal means on some website that was covered in porn ads. So, you know.
The Internet Archive?
Well, like the most legal.
Any manga reading website you go to, it's going to have nothing but porn ads surrounding it, and you just kind of have to deal with it. So, yeah.
Can I show you guys something?
Sure.
This is a 1987. Some of them are cracked, but vintage cups. This is Lieutenant Yar.
The fact that Yar is on the cup at all, that tells you how old
sexy.
it is.
Season 1.
Yeah, we got Picard. Oh, look at this. Isn't this cute? Right?
That's
and
cute.
hold on. There's one more. I have this, you know.
Mhm.
And I did have Riker. I don't know where he went, but he used to be in my bathroom, and it was creepy because like you'd be peeing in the middle of the night and look
And you'd
over,
be
and there's
sitting
just
there
Riker looking at you like you're a piece of meat. Like,
So it's Riker who has the toilet fetish.
Riker
Yeah.
has every fetish. I'm pretty
Riker-
sure.
Riker
Yeah.
got on the Titan and flew off into the stars unknown.
Yeah.
Like it
well,
doesn't matter if
Did-
there's a hole. Riker's for it. Like
Didn't he commit sexual assault,
the fuck?
like kind of like definitionally at some point?
In the show?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like 100
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I wasn't saying. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I thought you were talking about
Oh,
the actor.
No, not
No,
Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes. No. As far as I know, he's a sweetheart.
I was gonna say I would have noticed that.
No.
No.
I hear ya.
But in the show,
He's not the problematic Trek guy.
yeah. No, in the show, his whole sex appeal was sexual harassment. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
The whole show.
Yeah.
For a second, I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about that scene in Nemesis where Tom Hardy like takes over his body while he's like having his
No.
marriage wedding night.
No.
And I
That
was
doesn't
like,
count.
Yeah,
That
no.
that doesn't count.
Who thought that was necessary to that film? That's all I want to know.
Rick Berman.
That motherfucker.
That
Yeah.
movie is.
So,
that movie
so
is
we're talking
something.
about Trek, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the real science fiction, none of this Star Wars bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't have any hate for Star Wars, but as soon as I got into Trek, I was like, yeah, this is where it's at.
Well, if we're gonna be honest,
Look
Trek, like people comparing Star Trek and Star Wars is really stupid because
It's apples and oranges.
they're so different. They're
I'm just
completely
gonna do
different.
this while you're talking.
Like, that's
I
fine.
mean-
Like Star Wars isn't science fiction. It's just like space fantasy, basically. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a space opera. Whereas Star Trek gets really into like the details and the sci-fi and the jargon. You know, where Star
Yeah.
Wars doesn't give a shit. It's just telling like simple stories. You know,
Mhm.
so different vibes.
So I figured because this one's mostly just going to be general Star Trek shooting the shit. What's everybody's favorite series?
Oh, TNG. TNG is the gold standard for Star Trek.
I'm so glad. See, if I had to pick, it would be. See, I have two reasons. So TNG, same idea, but Voyager is special to me because like that was like a family show when I was a kid growing up. So like I always have a soft spot. But I feel like my overall favorite is TNG.
Voyager, we can talk about it later, but it could have been the best one, but I think
Mhm.
it doesn't
There's,
take enough risks to really be as good as it could be.
I feel like there's a lot of back and forth too, especially with Janeway. Like I'll break this rule now, and then all of a sudden I'm going by the rules, and like okay,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can
Yeah,
get
like
What's on
into
Prime
this.
Directive?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. We can get into it if it happens, but like Tuvix.
I mean,
You
that is Prime Directive stuff, you know, where it's like, well,
Bullshit.
we can't force them to split up. They like being together, you know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
Yeah,
Like
Tuvix is weird. Yeah,
no, it's just like I get their point, but like Janeway, her whole
I
bit
love
in
Janeway.
that. I love Janeway too, but that her whole bit in that situation was like, I don't know. She's just making up her own shit. She's going by her own shit, her own feelings.
I mean,
you know what I
she
mean?
did
Yeah.
that for half.
Because
she did
it
that
was
for
new
half
life.
the show, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
because
yeah,
they
half
created new life.
half the time she would give like tech to the Borg for a bowl of spaghetti, you know.
I mean, she didn't
No,
care
for
about
a
when
bag
when
of
she
coffee
created-
beans. That's what it was.
she
Yeah,
didn't-
basically.
she didn't care about when she created new life with Tom Paris on the lizard planet.
Yeah, everybody just seems to forget about that. They literally
Yeah, right.
They left
had
the
a
babies
kid.
behind.
They had many babies.
Honestly, I forgot about that.
That is
Yeah,
like
hot
that.
flash.
Episode,
I haven't watched Voyager in a very long time.
Boy, I'm telling you, you guys
best
do it
part
again.
about the best part about Threshold is like the episode is a dumpster fire, but it has Tom Paris's best fucking acting in the series. Like the scene when he's like having his fucking mental breakdown, like he does it. Like that entire thing is just fucking so good.
Yeah. But anyways, Matt, what's your favorite Trek show?
DS9 all
series.
the way.
DS9
I do love me some DS9. I do.
DS9 is amazing. But it also is a different style because they're at a station. They have like this whole thing going on. Like when I think of like Star Trek, I think of traveling, exploring. But like obviously DS9, like I'm never gonna say anything bad because it's fucking amazing. But I feel like it's a different category of Star Trek.
Oh, for sure.
DS9 is where Trek crosses over from like having casual mainstream fans to being like, if you like DS9, you are a Trek fan.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing casual about the show. You have to be into like the lore and everything to appreciate DS9.
Yeah, because you have to know a lot to be able to.
Yeah,
that's
you
why
need to know. You need to know TNG to get into it because it's a direct.
That's the thing. Oh my god, thank you. Because our friends were like, "Where do we start with Star Trek?" And I was like, personally, I wouldn't necessarily start with Shatner because it's old school. You fall asleep. All right, you're gonna fall asleep.
I like TOS, but TOS cherry picked that one.
Well, you have to think about the
look
time
up,
too.
but look up which the best episodes are and just watch those, and you're fine. Because what makes Trek really great is it's episodic. So you can just cherry pick the best episodes and you'll be fine. You don't have to watch it all in a row, except for the new crap.
I feel like starting with TNG is a good way to fully understand it. Matt wants our friends to start with
Season
DS9
3
to get hooked, because you will get hooked if you're doing DS9, but you're not going to know the significance of like all of it. TNG.
Like our friend DS9 Matt started with DS9 and it hooked them.
Like DS9's pilot episode is so fucking good.
Yeah. It is.
It's so good. But even with TNG, that starts really slow and really rough.
I mean, to be fair, I think every Star Trek season takes a couple seasons to get really good.
Yeah, that's why picking episodes for people to watch or watch it in front of them and be like, wait, what's going on here? Then they can get hooked. Like
Enterprise famously, like, it got canceled right when it got good.
But nobody cared at that point. Because I think by the time we got to Enterprise, we had so much Trek for like 20 years. And I think people were ready for a break. And Enterprise felt like they were like, there's like, oh, it's a prequel show, so they could save money. They had some cool mirror stuff. There's the laser that cuts Florida in half. And, there's some interesting things. I love the theme song. Love the fucking theme song.
The theme song when I was a teenager, I used to do this like whole fucking dramatic, like interpretive dance to it. Like I loved that song. But the show itself,
right now,
I just don't like it. I think it's because I don't like that actor very much.
Scott Bakula?
I mean,
I like Scott Bakula.
I like him, but like something about him he's not a captain to me for sure.
I mean, he's a downgrade from like what we had prior, but I think he fills the role just fine. He's better than all the new captains.
Fair.
Fair.
I don't know. There's something about him. I just can't.
Well, Bill,
I just feel like that show it fell way short from what we had standards of. Like
it definitely feels more made for TV than the previous ones, if that makes sense. Like the production value is not as high. You know?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, it was like the way that their little shuttles looked. I'll never forget the way the inside of the shuttles looked. Like it's a bus in like Boston. Like
it reminds me of I don't know, like New Line Cinema. When they made like Jason X. If you've ever seen Jason X, like that has a made for TV quality to it, and that's a feature film, but it has a certain look to it. I think ENT is kind of close to that, in my opinion. But honestly, I tell people if they want to get into Trek, like start with the movies. Like the movies are actually like the TOS movies. I think are a great starting point.
Especially the main TOS trilogy: Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and
people should start with Wrath of Khan. But I always say the motion picture is a really good film. But if you don't know Trek, that's not a good starting point.
If you don't want to spend 5 minutes just staring at the Enterprise while they're flying up to it, sure.
But that's the thing. I like motion, but motion picture is actually like really good.
Oh no,
I think it's a very underrated movie. But if you don't know any Trek, you're gonna be like, why does anybody give a fuck?
I have a fun fact. Did you know that? Oh my god, I forgot his name. He played. Oh my god, original series. He played. What's his name, Matt? The guy with the fingers, or lack of.
Scotty.
Yes, but what's his name? Whatever.
I don't
you guys
know
know. Scotty in the TOS, right? He actually, the reason you never see his hand fully, one of his hands, is he was missing fingers from when he was in the war. Just fun fact. You'll never,
yeah, I
if you
knew
look
that.
back now, you see that like you never see his hand fully. It's always tucked a certain way or like hidden. Just I don't know. I
James
always thought that was
Doohan.
fun.
Oh,
Doohan, yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
It's
I
weird
kept
they
seeing-
got a Canadian guy to play a Scottish man.
Oh my god!
he
Like
did. He does a
well.
good performance.
I think it
Yeah.
was like
He
his
does all
mother
right.
or something. I feel like
Yeah,
one
I think his
piece-
mother was
I
Scottish.
think it was
Yeah.
his mother was.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I am a nerd. It's like who knows this stuff?
You are.
So,
a nerd. Who are you kidding?
Liking
I-
Trek makes you a nerd. I don't care.
So my favorite series, nostalgically, is Voyager because that was the one that was on when I was a kid and watched the most.
Mhm.
Objectively, the Next Generation is by far the most. If you took all of them as like a scale of like the entire show, Next Generation is probably the only one I can actually watch the entire way through and like enjoy every episode.
You can enjoy season 1.
Yeah, I mean it's not great, but I can sit through it.
I was gonna say, I would say
what's that
TNG
one
season 1 has
episode?
some of the worst episodes of Star Trek ever made.
To be fair, I've watched a
Yeah.
lot of bad shit, so I can. Sit
Yeah, but like the Naked Now, good God, ugh.
TOS
Are
did
you
it.
fully functional? Yes, I am fully functional.
Oh, I don't know what that reminded me. Oh, my favorite part of any series is DS9 when Space Karen fucks Cardassian like dictator.
Cardassian Hitler?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. When they get to
Yep.
the end and they're fucking
Oh, yeah.
boning, it's like what? Like I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite of everything.
That was a wild twist at the end.
I call her Space Karen so much I can't remember her actual fucking name.
Kai Wynn.
Kai Wynn, yes.
So I want to know like who like there's definitely got to be one person out there whose favorite Star Trek is the animated series.
Animated,
The animated series
it's
has some
weird.
good episodes.
It is
It's like
too.
super low quality. Like it's like if the old Scooby Doo cartoon had like half the budget. But
It reminds
has some
me
good
of-
episodes.
It reminds me of that like 60s Spider-Man animated series
the-
where all
the
the
big-
memes came from.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, there are memes from this animated series, like the Kirk putting his hand over his mouth. You
Yeah.
know, animated series is weird. It felt like the only reason it was made was because when at that point Trek was in syndication, and that's when it became really popular. And then CBS was like, we should probably do something, so they just kind of threw it together. You know, I mean, I think Phase 2 was being talked about by this point, but Phase 2, if you all know, like had trouble getting off the ground.
That was
and
what
then-
ended up becoming the motion picture, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, Phase 2 was being made. I think it started, at this time to being like the follow-up TV show, and it was going to follow. Crap, I forget his name. But then Star Wars happened, and then they were like, but they were still trying to do Phase 2 because it wasn't Star Wars that made them go, we should do the motion picture. It was Close Encounters, because they were like, oh, a boring sci-fi movie can be successful. Sweet. That's what caused them to make a movie. So it wasn't Star Wars. It was Close Encounters.
Fair enough.
I do
Yeah.
love that opening scene though from the motion picture of the ship just coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But motion picture, just like it's the only like true 70s Trek we ever got. So it's very much a capsule in time of what like Phase 2 could have been, you know?
Mhm.
But then Wrath of Khan goes in a very different direction, probably for the best. But
Yeah.
there's
Wrath of
just something
Khan-
about motion picture I really like.
Voyage Home, I still think is the best. Like start like it's probably my favorite old like original series Star Trek thing like ever made.
Oh, the one with the whales.
Save the whales
Yep.
from the giant
That's the
spaceship,
best one.
space turd.
A beautiful movie. What does it mean, exact change?
Yeah,
It's just like that's probably, I would say most people's favorite Trek would be that one, because it's just a comedy, and any sort of Trekky sci-fi stuff is played for laughs.
Well,
You
well,
know?
nothing will ever beat freaking in the midst of the Cold War. This Russian guy walking around asking for nuclear whistles.
I love that too, and I love the scene on the bus where
Hello, computer.
the punk rocker like picks a fight with them. Apparently, that was like the producer of the film. He like just wanted to be a cameo in it.
There's a callback to
both
that
Nerf
in
witches.
there's a callback to that in Picard. They do the exact same scene, but with Seven and Raffi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Voyage Home
Yeah.
is fun. Isn't Final Frontier considered like the worst of like the original films?
Yeah,
Out of
it
the
is.
originals, but I think Section 31 might have overthrown that. From what I've been hearing.
If we're just talking the TOS movies, yeah, Final Frontier is the worst. I mean, because of directed by William Shatner. Like, I think the only reason he directed it was because I think he was getting a little envious of Nimoy getting all the credit for like writing and directing the last handful of movies. Though Final Frontier, I think, has a really interesting idea. You know, what does God need with a starship? You know, Jim, you don't ask the old man for his ID. You know, like it's an interesting idea, but it's just not executed well at all because it has really bad direction.
Yeah, it has some.
That's why they got Nicholas Meyer back for 6 because he did too, and that's a good one. Undiscovered Country is very underrated. So people forget about it, and it's very pivotal because it starts to explain why the Klingons become more of a friendly race when we hit TNG, where it's like, oh, there's a Klingon on the starship. And it's like, well, if you watch 6, there's a whole thing about it.
Yeah, it wasn't. Michael Dorn was in that movie, wasn't he?
I
think he played.
I don't think
played
so.
Worf's like great grandfather or something.
I don't think he was. I could be wrong on that.
Bill's on it.
Let's see.
Oh,
he was cut from the theatrical version, but on the home video, he's there as like I think it's like a cameo. Okay. So yeah, but he is there.
Gotcha.
I was always bummed we only got 2 movies with Enterprise A. I like the way Enterprise A looked.
Yeah, Enterprise A looks great, but
it somehow looks more futuristic. It looks more futuristic than B somehow. B looks so rinky-dink. It only lasts for like one scene.
All right.
What's everyone's favorite Enterprise?
I
mean,
it's kind of hard to beat the D.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out of here.
Fair.
Bye.
I always loved E because E just like is like this massive fucking juggernaut. I just loved E's like nacelles because they were just fucking massive for no reason.
Yeah, I could see that, but yeah, I think the Class D is like the iconic one.
The Galaxy class, yeah.
Yeah.
It could split in 2.
I mean, heck, they brought it back for the end of Picard, which was cool.
Yeah.
Did they explain how they brought it back, or was it a different ship just named Enterprise?
It's the same ship. Yeah.
It was Geordi's retirement project.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's like what he was working on. Because it's weird because the end of Picard goes like full into like TNG nostalgia. Oh yeah. And yet somehow, and usually I can't stand that shit, but yet here they make it work. I think it's because they actually. I think it's because they like actually had respect for their source material, and the way they handled it is like
as long as you weren't
not bad.
As long as you weren't a Voyager fan, because that show just told Voyager fans to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, but that's just an unfortunate thing.
I was watching that. I'm like,
he didn't like that bored kid from Voyager.
Yeah, I was watching the show, and I'm
that's
like,
that's fair.
The whole time I'm through, I'm like, damn. I'm like, this is good. I'm like, well, Voyager fans, they just gave the giant middle finger. That's fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, again, Voyager was such a missed opportunity, I think.
Voyager, I still think it might have one of the strongest cast in the series, though.
It has really, I think most of them have really solid casts.
They do.
TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, like they all have great casts, but I just think by Voyager, they were just afraid to really take the risks they needed to make that like Year of Hell. That should have been the whole season. I mean, hell, they could have made that the whole show, Year of Hell, but they were like, we can't do that because we already have these like 10 really nice shots of the ship, so we can't like redo them where it's like destroyed. You know, we don't have the fucking time for that. So it's just like by the end of the episode, oh, it's fine, everything's fine now.
And then they
know what
proceed to
drives me-
redo it multiple times with like the different armor upgrades and like
Yeah, it's just like, come on, guys. You know.
You know what kind of drives me nuts about Voyager is they start out in like on the first episode in the Delta Quadrant. And they're like, oh, we have like 150 people on the crew. But then like every couple episodes, you'll get like 2 or 3 crewmates will die, but the number never decreases.
Well, and like early on when like the Marquis or the Marquis get involved, you know, like the pirate rebels, you
Mhm.
know, and then there's the whole like, oh, how are they going to assimilate on the ship? And by like the next episode, it's like, oh, they're simulated, they're wearing their uniforms and everything. That's like, really,
Yeah.
really,
They
guys,
didn't-
come on.
They didn't take the time to really like. I mean, you had like Seska there who was trying to stir some shit up, and everyone was just
That
like, "No,
bitch.
shut up, bitch. Nobody likes you."
Yeah, exactly. It's just.
I-
She
Like
makes me
Voyager,
angry.
it needed more conflict. That's what Voyager
Mhm.
needed, like more consistent conflict to be like fantastic.
I
But-
do.
It's
I agree
actually
with that.
really funny. Like because I haven't watched the early part of Voyager in forever. I forgot Seska was just a random person on the ship for like her first like couple appearances.
Yeah,
She was a
yeah,
Bajoran
really.
at first.
And I
Yeah,
was like,
Oh,
was
she
just
was
talking
Bajoran,
about
yeah.
Seska. He was just talking about Seska yesterday, and I was like, "What that? Who's that?" And then I'm like, "That bitch!" Like how she just goes from nobody to the worst. Like,
Oh yeah,
What
because
the
we were talking about like recurring villains in each of the shows and like which show has the best villains.
yeah.
And like I was sitting there scratching my head, like, what even are Voyagers? Like,
there are,
I mean,
none.
yeah,
The shit-
we get the
Borg?
Borg.
The
Borg.
Borg?
Janeway
But the Borg
depending
The
on
Borg
the
are
episode.
consistent through all
and
of
the
them.
Kazon, like the
Well, and the
Kazon
Borg-
was supposed to be like that too, but
And the Borg are ruined by that point.
it wasn't super
Hmm.
They weren't super bad, you know. Like
Yeah.
the
I mean,
Borg were
Kazon are just
already-
worse
the-
Klingons.
Well, the Borg were ruined by First Contact, so
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
Yo,
don't know. I
Borg
like,
goes-
I like
Steppenwolf.
Contact.
Borg have always been my favorite, like bad, but it's only
Yeah.
because they terrified me. When I was a kid, I was
Yeah.
terrified. That's why I was
Well-
scared of robots and shit. It all goes back to the Borg. I was
See-
traumatized.
See, the Borg are an amazing concept, and I love them. And when they're used like in TNG, like Best of Both Worlds and all that, phenomenal. But the more they used it, and the more they developed it, they were going to ruin it because because they said it like pretty easily. It's just like they're a hive mind. You know, they're resistance is futile.
Yeah.
Like there's no reasoning with them because Trek is all about communication and reason
Yeah.
and trying
But see,
to
that's the thing.
make
is that they
connections.
put-
And the Borg, there is none. There's no way.
Yeah. But
So
that's
it's
when they
like-
fucked it up. See, I agree. That's when they fucked it up is because they did start to communicate in a way with the
Mhm.
Borg. And that's when the Borg became like not. That's when I stopped being afraid of them. That's when I was like, okay, they're a fun one. They're
And when
fun.
they got-
I was
and when they
kid, I
got a
was
queen.
scared of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they got a queen, it's like I thought the idea was there is no leader. They're just this mass, and it's like, oh no, they have a leader. It's like, I mean, she's great, but like, It-
No, she
you don't
scared me
need
the
it.
most when I was a kid.
yeah,
there's
but like
no-
it
I
just
know,
it ruins the
man.
Borg.
That
Yeah,
whole
which is a
spot,
shame.
like
I
everything about her.
I kind of have a different stance on the whole Borg Queen thing. Like, I get to the whole concept of it, but as it progressed and I really started to think about it, like I realized that the Queen was kind of necessary, or like an entity like the Queen, because like there's no way all these millions and billions and trillions of different species all together are just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do this and we're gonna go and assimilate everybody and do all like, if it was everybody's mindsets working together for something, there's no way all these people want all these people who are forcibly assimilated, all this other shit. Like, if all of their minds are jumbled together, then like they wouldn't all like go for that kind of thing. They would need like the one overarching, like I guess command.
there needs to be a
prime
drive
directive,
behind
for
it.
lack
like
of a better term,
like
to
we
to
go
go
by
about
But,
it.
but the thing is, they like forcibly assimilate everybody into the hive mind, you know. So it's like it doesn't really need a queen. It's just that they just kind of bring people in.
But if everybody in the hive mind says I don't want to be in, but if every single person's
You're doing weird stuff.
I think we lost him there for a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah. He's looking weird.
McDonald's Wi-Fi.
You back?
yeah, for a second there,
Hi.
it's an old
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no.
kinda.
Did it revert to
Hello.
the wrong Wi-Fi again?
This is really funny.
I think he's becoming assimilated right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Like
the
the
poor
computer
grandpa.
knows.
Okay.
It's
Am I good now? Am I good now?
I think so.
Sure.
Skynet.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's fucking Skynet.
Just making sure.
You know
It's
what?
causing you lag.
Just to break the mood real quick. I was looking up Best of Both Worlds because I wanted to get some background on that episode, and I'm very upset about the internet by the fact that the first thing that pops up is fucking Hannah Montana.
Oh.
Oh God.
I hate.
Oh,
the
because that
internet.
was the theme.
Oh,
Because that was the
God.
theme song to Hannah Montana. That's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
I hate the internet sometimes.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry.
Forgot Hannah Montana was a thing.
That is still one of the most like oh shit episodes though in like the entire series, and it's arguably one of the best.
I mean, honestly, I can't think of like a better two-parter in Trek history. You know, like even when you know what's happening, it's still so well done and like thrilling and all that, you know. And I mean, you can have the context of, I think it's in season 1 when Q like brings like one Borg member on the ship and is like, you know, this is what's out there. Are you sure you want to handle this? You know, and then they'll be back, you know, that kind of thing.
I love Q.
You don't need that, but it does help. Oh yeah, Q's fucking amazing. John Delancey.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, John Delancey is
every time I see him in something else, I always go, "Oh, that's Q." Like when I was many years ago when I was watching Breaking Bad.
He was in Charmed.
Yeah, but like in Breaking Bad, he's the father of the girl that like gets with Jesse, who's like all drugged or whatever, and he's the guy who causes the planes to crash. Yeah, I'm like, God damn it, Q.
Oh, and there's Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs is a god.
He is a fucking actor. Okay, like he is an actor.
Oh yeah.
There are a few.
All right, well, let's get into this. What is it? What's everybody's like? No, go on.
Did we lose him again?
I think we did.
Oh, good. I hope so because he interrupted me. Oh wait, he's blinking. Hi, Matt. Now you made me forget what I was
waiting
saying.
for you to finish.
I don't remember now because you did all that. Go ahead. Fucking go ahead.
What was your question, Matt?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, do we want to start getting into like what's everybody's like favorite episodes from each series, or?
Sure. You can do that.
Oh boy,
That's a hard one.
That's a lot.
Okay, for me, I can't make that decision. I can't make that decision.
Well, I was gonna
Well,
say
we're not narrowing it down to like top 3. I'm just saying, like, name some of the ones that you like a lot. Like,
I'll just throw out original series. Trouble with Tribbles is still like one of the best episodes.
Tribbles, yeah.
Okay, so one of my friends,
Trouble.
actually, Matt, you did meet him. One of my old friends, like he's dope. He was Tribble, and he never watched Star Trek. And I would send him Tribble memes all the time, and he had no clue what the fuck it was. But I was like, I loved it. I was like, Tribble, like I have a Tribble as a friend, and he had no clue. It was great. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's your favorite TOS episode, Matt?
TOS, that's tough. I like there was, I don't remember the name of it, but there was the one with like the Q precursor. I forget the name of it, but it was like literally the same thing as Q, but he was like he ended up at the end being like just an all-powerful child essentially.
God, I can't remember that one.
Trying to remember, he did like a very like Victorian type of thing going on. I can't remember the name of the episode, but that one was really good. And then obviously,
was it the Squire of Gothos?
Yeah, maybe. I think that sounds right.
Let's see. Yeah, it's like it says in this episode, the childish but powerful ruler of the planet Gothos captures the crew of the Enterprise for his own amusement.
Yeah, that was like the precursor to Q. And I believe he was actually he ended up playing one of the original series Klingon that came back in DS9.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I also really like the Ponfar episode.
Yeah, the Ponfar is great.
Yep. I mean, any episode really where Leonard Nimoy gets to kind of break out of the usual like stiff Spock thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always helps. That always helps. I'm a big fan of Arena, the Gorn episode.
Yep.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So the famous, which is when I was talking about how Starship Troopers is the anti-Star Trek. I feel like they based a lot of the first movie on Arena
Mm-hmm.
because both of them have a very similar plot where it's like, this like alien species is protecting the planet and it like destroyed this like human colony, and then they go and they go search it, but they have different sort of messages and interactions with it, where
Mhm.
Kirk realizes like, oh, they're just defending their territory, so he's like, I won't kill him. And then Starship Troopers is like, oh, it's afraid, yay, we won, that whole bullshit. Yeah, Arena's great. Space Seed, the Khan episode, is fantastic.
Yep.
Mirror, the first Mirror episode is great. I
sure.
always like the Mirror stuff. I know some people don't, but I appreciate when it comes back like every once in a while because it's always like a cute little nod to TOS.
It's like whenever a series does a holodeck episode, and it's always like, yeah, I love the holodeck episode.
The holodeck episodes are crazy. So,
what was it? The City on the Edge of Forever, I think, was another really good one.
mm-hmm.
It was one where like they go back in time and like Kirk ends up like falling in love with this girl, and then it becomes like a big thing where
You
like
don't say.
she's supposed to die. Like she's supposed to die, and like if she doesn't die, like history gets all thrown out of whack and the Nazis win and shit. So like it's like this whole thing where he wants to save her, but she has to get run over by a car or else the world will end.
No, it's not funny.
That's a Star Trek plot, all right.
That is a Star Trek plot. Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
I just like how you say it's the episode where Kirk gets with the girl, and I'm just like,
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I went through TOS not that long ago, and it doesn't happen as often as you'd think.
But it does happen a lot.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue a similar rate with like, Riker or Picard and like TNG,
I mean, I think Riker gets it more than anybody.
Yeah. I mean, the ladies love Picard.
This is true.
Yeah. What's the
What
episode where he
was-
goes on what's the episode where he goes on a vacation? Where they
Risa,
force-
I think.
Or where they force him to go on a vacation and he meets Vosh and they have
I think
that little
was
adventure.
Risa.
Okay. That was a great episode.
Mhm. And then she ends up coming back a couple of times. She came back for the Peter Pan, the Robin Hood episode.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah, isn't she like with Q at that point?
Well, she meets Q then, and they run off together, and then they show up again towards the beginning of DS9.
Okay, yeah. That sounds right.
Okay, I have a few written down. There's so many. Okay.
I've been thinking this whole time.
I mean, I have been. I've been trying to pick like certain way because I want to say everything. Barkley, Holodeck, The Crew, that fantasy episode, bro. That's like
Is
the
that-
best. I love
Wait,
it.
the original Barkley episode or the one where he was like,
The one where he
super
fantasizes
into the holodeck versions of the
Renaissance,
Voyager.
and, like the girls are in love with
Okay.
him, and like that one
where he's like single-handedly
the
saving
big guns,
Voyager.
everything. Oh my god,
he
so, like,
he
that
needed
one
that.
was-
He needed that.
We all needed that. That was amazing.
I love watching that for the first time and being like, what the fuck is going on?
It's
Like-
beautiful. I love it.
I love
Then
in that
you-
original Barkley episode when like he encounters Riker, or Riker encounters the holodeck Riker, and it's like 2 feet shorter than he actually is.
I love it. Yeah, that's like the thing is like all the Freudian type shit that was in that episode. Just like
Oh yeah.
I loved it. Kira. Wait, did I just say her name right? Yeah, I did. When she has to live as a Cardassian, and she's like, "No, I'm not a Cardassian."
Oh, second
She's that
skin.
guy's
Yeah,
daughter.
that's a
It's like-
crazy one.
Yeah, I don't know like the names of the episodes. I just know the episodes. Dude, that one really like messed me up. That was
Well,
crazy.
yeah, it was when like she
And
was
it
like
was-
kind of like abducted by the Cardassians, and they put the facial reconstruction to make
Yeah,
her look
and it was like the
Cardassian.
memory like they were like so the thing about that though is like so I think that yes, that actress could be extra, but the different roles she played throughout that show and like the different types, the different styles. Like she nailed it every time. The sexy, the warrior, the vulnerable. Like she was able to nail it every time. But what was I gonna say? Oh fuck! I hate my brain. Hold on. Kira, and she does that. Matt, keep going. Talk about her. Tell me about Kira so I can remember.
I don't know. She wears a lot of skin tight suits. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like, cause she can do all these different roles, right? But her character growth, also like that actress just nailed it. She nailed the growth, and that episode was one of them. Like where she had to grow. Like she hated the character. She hated them. She hated them. Like she had every reason to hate them.
Mhm.
And that was part of her character growth. Like, I don't know, the actress was great at it. Like
Duet.
because
yeah,
she cared for that
Yep.
guy at the end. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. She was a great character in general. Do you want to know my next one?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
O'Brien's jail sentence. That mental
Oh
shit.
yeah, that was a good one.
Oh yeah.
Every time I cry every time. I'm gonna cry every time. And
He was,
O'Brien, what's his name? What's his real name?
He was in like the mind prison for 20 years.
What's his real name?
Colmini.
Colm. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a weird name. I can't say.
Colmini.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has like a little bit of growth, the character, because he's in a couple different shows, right?
Well, he started in
But
TNG and was kind of like a background character, but as TNG went,
And he grew, and then
he got
moved.
more. But then with DS9, he's like a prime.
Yeah,
character.
but like he had like a little bit of like you saw him grow as like a typical guy, like he was a bachelor, low in his status at work, gradually like a regular dude, like a middle class dude, right?
Yeah, he was a working Joe.
Kids. Yeah, exactly, but futuristic. And like I love the way, but in that episode, because like you already were in love with O'Brien, like you already love that regular guy. You can relate to him and his family. Like when he went through that, man, it was so emotional. And like how he was episodes after, like where it was still kind of like, dude, I like these people are real to me, okay? Like I grew up watching this shit. Like these people are real. I know they're not real, but I feel it, man. I feel it. Anybody else feel it? Come on, tell me about O'Brien. Come on.
Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
Nobody else feels this way. Come on, O'Brien is like.
Oh, for sure.
on.
I mean, I feel that way about everyone at DS9.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like every single one of those characters is so like alive and vibrant.
Well, yeah, true. Actually, that's not the next one. The last one I wrote down because I know I get a little overboard sometimes. I get excited. I love everything. Jadzia, when they come to take her Trill, they come to take Dax because of the previous host having killed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? That episode like really hit me. It was intense because you see like both sides, but it's just I don't know. Nobody.
No, I agree with you. We're letting you finish.
No, but
I'm just letting you cook. You're getting.
No, I
into
get
it,
emotional. I get emotional. I get very into it. No, I don't think you had to say it. You guys know. Bill and Matt will tell you. Don't let me get into it. It's gonna be insane. We're gonna be here.
She will
all
start
night.
crying.
And I will start crying. No, it's those are I like the ones that really make you think. I like in all the series, the episodes that make you think about like your morals, ethics, what's right versus wrong, and like understanding different points of view. Like that's why I love Star Trek, because it really does like I have too many favorites, guys.
It's one of the few sci-fi like franchises or IPs where its theme is optimism, because most science fiction is rooted in like the world has gone to shit, everything fucking sucks, and everybody hates each other.
Bringing people together, bringing things together, and being like, it's okay to disagree, but always respect. You know,
well, what I love is Trek is the future is no, we figured it out. Like we solved all the issues. Like Earth has, figured everything out, and that's why we can explore and be a part of the alien galaxies, because now, we feel we can actually extend our knowledge to other races. It has the very like positive vibe about it, which is what I really enjoy about it, because so many science fiction doesn't have that at all. And when they get into the moral stuff with the Prime Directive and like episodes like Measure of a Man, like
a
really
lot of science fiction too is always the fight, the
yes
war part of it. Like you
Mhm.
like, and that makes sense. It doesn't do. It has fights, but it's usually we come to some sort of understanding. That positivity is so important in the show.
Action is not Trek's strong suit.
No,
But it was
I feel
never
more
meant
on
to be.
edge. I feel more on edge watching Trek during like court episodes than battle episodes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. That
Mhm.
shit, like, whew. And because we're also brainwashed by the systems, that in the future with what their technology, why would you ever commit a crime? And then if you don't know you're committing a crime, oh my god, that makes me want to pee my pants right now. Like, I can't. It's scary as shit.
Speaking of
Cardassian court.
speaking
What
of
is that?
committing a crime, one of my favorite episodes from Voyager is 30 Days, which is the one where
Yes.
Tom Paris is thrown in the brig for disobeying a direct order. And I just love the setup of that episode because it starts out with him like being thrown in the jail cell and being demoted, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Because it's like literally just in the middle of like a story arc. And I like how the whole episode is like a flashback explaining the whole thing with the water planet and then like everything that goes on in that. And the kind of thing at the end too is like you kind of question whether Tom actually did anything wrong or not. It's like
I love that episode because I love the whole setup of like the show where like he was in like a basically a jail. He was in like prison, and then they pick him up out of prison and say, "Hey, you're really good at this. We need your help."
Yeah.
And then he gets stuck out there, and they're like, "All right, well, we're stuck out here. You need to be part of the crew, so you're a lieutenant now." They make him a lieutenant. He gets. Oh, did you lose me again?
You're a little on and off. Oh. It's happening again.
Oh
Am I
man.
still there? Sorry. Right.
You look funny.
But no, they make him a lieutenant. He gets in trouble. They demote him, and then they re-promote him, all while Ensign Kim's over there just as an ensign the whole time.
Forever
Poor
Ensign
Kim,
Kim.
I'm telling you. He really.
Well, in an alternate
deserves
future, he's
so much.
he's a captain. So
I just love him.
Yeah, but he erased that
Sweet
future,
baby
so it's
boy.
fine.
it might still happen. You never know. Well, actually, no. The series hates Voyager, so probably not. Kim probably died. That's probably what happened.
Well, see,
Voyager will get its Voyager will get its
shout-outs.
I know.
Yeah, it'll get its like nostalgia bump eventually.
Hey, did you guys all just hear another girl's voice?
No.
That is so fucking weird. In my headphones, I heard all three of your voice, but I heard like a girl talking. Like it had. What the fuck? I'm sorry. That was so weird. Like it was so clear as day. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like
Couldn't tell
someone in the background at someone's house or something. Like, all right, continue. I'm sorry. Was that an EVP?
It's
Did I
okay.
just catch something? Like, is that on record? I wonder if your recording picked up what I heard.
No, I didn't hear it. So.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it the way StreamYards works is it picks up everyone's mics. So if no one else heard it, it probably like wasn't picked up.
Maybe there's no, but you guys didn't hear it. All right, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. That was weird.
I going back to 30 Days though, I do love the fact that like the second he gets thrown in jail, he immediately reverts back to his asshole personality from like the first like few episodes after so much character development. I'm like, damn, was he just waiting to go back to this?
For sure. Trying to think of some other. In Voyager, the episode where Neelix dies. and then like they like resurrect him with the Borg shit, and he has that whole existential crisis about his belief in the afterlife.
That's a hard one.
Neelix goes through a lot of shit in
Oh
Voyager.
yeah, you know he does.
Yeah.
And he had
does.
already gone through a lot of shit.
Got a lung
you know, like
stolen.
before. That was nuts.
Look, so
He's one of
I
my
just want to
favorite
throw this.
characters.
I just want to throw this out there, like, because we had this conversation with Matt the other day. Like, I always see like this comparison online about like, oh, who's the most annoying Star Trek or like sci-fi character, Jar Jar Binks or Neelix? I never
Jar Jar
understood
Binks.
that. Neelix, I was gonna say Neelix never seemed that annoying to me, so I don't understand that
Yeah.
correlation.
I don't even think Jar Jar Binks is that annoying.
No,
No,
I
he's
like
not.
Jar Jar Binks.
He's really not.
I think
I-
he's cute.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, but like the way people over the years have just like made him like the worst thing ever. I'm like, not even close.
Yeah.
Well, I think with like Neelix too is his actor is like Ethan Phillips is just a sweetheart. Like, how could you hate
Yeah.
that guy?
It's one of those I could see why people would make the comparison between the two, but it's such a surface level comparison,
Hmm.
you know?
And even then, Neelix has some of the most development in the entire series.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I wish he kept his sweet ass jacket though that he had at the start of the series.
Yeah, what happened to that jacket?
It just goes away, and it's like, yeah, he looked so fucking cool.
Oh my god, speaking of clothing, Quark's original
Oh
vest,
yeah.
like jacket, like it's like the jacket with like the vest and like the little, I don't know what shape that is. It's fucking rhombus, I guess.
Frankie's clothing.
I
they got
want that.
flag.
I have been trying to find that in my like for me to wear. I love it. I think it's so cool. I don't ever care.
I think my favorite, for, like too, like the early season one, like TNG uniforms, they had like the zipper on the back. So I'm like, oh, so they got to they need someone to zip them up to get in their uniform every day.
If I remember, the issue was those were made of like a different material that like nobody liked wearing them.
Hmm.
You know, and I think when they hit like I think it was like season 3 is when they actually like changed the uniforms and made them more comfortable. But that's where we got the Picard maneuver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the original things was it was originally a one piece, but because
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
but because Patrick Stewart was a little bit older than everybody else, he was having really bad back problems because of it. So that's why they changed it to a two piece.
Yeah, I think so.
I just always love the zipper. I'm like, oh,
And I forget how long until Counselor Troy actually got a proper uniform.
I don't think
I think she ever did.
I think it was like
I know
last
she
season.
did. She did.
It was like the
but
last season because I think it was Chain of
She-
Command. It was when that asshole captain took over for the Enterprise when
Yeah.
Picard went on the undercover mission.
Yeah, because Troy, because the actor who played Troy, she bitched about it the entire time. She's like, "Why do I have a different uniform from everyone else on the bridge?" You know,
Yeah.
they're like, "Well, because you have boobies," and she's like, "Well,
Yeah,
that's
'cause-
stupid."
You're the fan service character, and she's like, no.
She's like, "That's fucking stupid." Yeah,
The same thing happened with Jerry Ryan.
I think in the movies she was fine.
Yeah, by then she had completely changed her like look, and like I think
Yeah.
every appearance that because she appears in Voyager for a couple episodes. I think she's in
Oh yeah, she
DS9
does.
for a
Yep.
few.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Forgot about
she
that.
was in a couple of those Barclay episodes in Voyager.
Yeah.
Also, the one where Robert Picardo has to like be friends with his creator. She's in that one as well.
Oh, right.
I love that. To be fair, like the two characters that really carry Voyager are the Doctor and 7 of 9. So,
Oh, I love 7 of 9. That's like one of my favorite characters in the whole series.
I love the episode where they're going through that nebula that's like super like hazardous to the crew, and she's like the only one that can actually stay functioning in it. So she ends up it's her and the Doctor, like they're just like monitoring everybody. And eventually the Doctor goes in. She ends up starting to like go crazy just because she's like alone in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
Well,
remember
there
that.
was a similar one too, wasn't there, where they went through like a section of space where they couldn't get any light from stars, so it was just total darkness, and it just
remember
like
that one as well.
it was like fucked everybody on the crew.
Sorry. I had to pet the kitty.
All right, so now that you're back, Cyndi, because now that you're back and we've brought up 7 of 9, I want to talk about like the comparison between like having Kess at the beginning and then the shift to 7 of 9. So like
the whole
how does
vibe, everything
every-
changed.
how does everybody feel about Kess as a character?
I liked her for when she was there, but she also doesn't do much.
Yeah, she reminds me a lot of in TNG season 2, when they had the Doctor, when Crusher got replaced for like a season. And it was like, I didn't care for that character either. It's kind of the same, where it's just like, this kind of feels like a nothing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I feel like it was kind of the actress too, though. I just feel like something about her never really hit for me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I feel like I never looked into it, but it felt like they knew they needed someone else. And that's why they did that crazy out of the nowhere. Oh my God, Kess is getting so powerful. And boom, there she explodes into the fucking abyss. Like, that's stupid. Like, I don't know, the whole thing about it. I liked her, the way she helped Neelix grow. But
I forgot about the early episodes where they were just fucking making out. I was like, okay, I don't remember this in the show.
Yeah, when Neelix was like the super jealous boyfriend for a while. Like, that was weird.
Yeah,
that was weird.
That was an odd choice. I liked a lot of her moments with the Doctor where she was working with him. Like, she wasn't bad there, but like other than that, she kind of just existed for most of the series.
I just feel like her actor or actress was so stiff, and that's kind of what made her come across like, I don't know. But Seven, Jerry Ryan, like she's
the most developed character on the show.
Oh, easily.
Well, she kind of took over the show as soon as she joined it.
Her and the Doctor, like the best. They were the best duo because they just like they stole every scene they were in.
They did, but I love the way that like she acts good, but like her with kids, 7 of 9 with children is my favorite. It's my favorite episode when it comes to her.
Well, the fun commence.
Speaking of children, another great episode is the one where the Doctor has his own little fake family in the holodeck, and like it's the most fake, like perfect family ever, and then everyone's like, no, this isn't real, let me make some adjustments here. And then they're like, all right,
this doesn't fit with the Doctor.
Yeah, this isn't a real situation, these are perfect people. And then they change it, and it ends up going progressively worse and worse to the point where it gets fucking dark. And I was like, god damn, like they were really going places on this episode. Like at one point, like one of the daughters, like his like hollow daughter dies or something. It's like bizarre.
Oh yeah. I vaguely remember that.
It was one weird thing that I always forget and just like randomly comes up in my memory every now and then is that Worf actually delivered O'Brien's kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do always forget about that too.
Do you remember the episode where Worf got paralyzed for like a little bit?
Yeah.
Then
he asked his like 4-year-old son to stab him through the heart.
For some reason, I always remember his purple space bazooka from Star Trek Insurrection.
Yes. I love that movie so much.
I do not, but I love his purple space bazooka.
I know I'm in the minority with that film. I just like it for whatever reason because I love how goofy it is.
I just think all the TNG movies are just not great, but I think
it's First Contact is good.
It's fine, but like I get that TNG they wanted to do movies, but I just think it wasn't set up for movies the same way like TOS was, I guess.
Well, if I'm being honest, I feel like the only one of like the original, say, 10 movies that I actively dislike is Nemesis.
Well, that's fair.
It's just bad.
like I like the other TNG movies. Like they all have good qualities to them.
Yeah.
I mean, even the reboot movies were all right.
Oh, the Kelvin universe.
I will say the first one. I remember when I watched it was just Star Trek, right? Yeah. I remember I came out of the theater and I was like, that was a great Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's basically a Star Wars movie. And then Into Darkness, I actively hate that movie for a lot of reasons. And then Beyond tried to fix it, and I think it's a little bit better, but I don't know. Seeing Spock fighting Khan, yelling and being like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," I'm like, this doesn't feel right to me.
See, my favorite part in that first movie is the scene where we get like Nimoy, and it's like you see him from behind the back, and you're like, is that? And then he turns around, you're like, it is.
Of course it's Nimoy. Of course they were
You
gonna get him.
And then you just get happy for a minute, and then you realize,
Like,
Nimoy-
doesn't Nimoy show up in like every series?
I know he definitely shows up in TNG. I don't think.
Well,
he
yeah,
is in
he
other
has the whole arc in TNG when Saren shows up and they're like, "Oh, Spock's in trouble."
one. Yeah,
Love
know if he
that
was in
angle.
Voyager.
Later.
He
I
might
know
have been,
Sulu was in Voyager. I know that.
yeah.
Um,
But I mean, like, Spock is the iconic character in the show, in the whole franchise.
I'd
yeah,
say
even
Spock
long before I watched Star Trek, I knew Spock. So
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
knows who Spock is.
He's got an emoji, bitch. Like, come on.
Like,
That means
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, that means something.
I always remember the Simpsons episode where he's like on the train and
Oh, the monorail. Yeah.
yeah,
where-
and he's
where-
annoying that one guy, and at the end he's like, "My work here is done." He's like, "What did you do?" He's like, "You didn't do anything." He's like, "Didn't I?" And then he just phases out of existence.
yeah, yeah. Or when he's on the monorail and he's like talking to the passenger about like Star Trek trivia, and then they're like, "Does anyone want to change seats?"
Yeah, because he's like, the doors weren't actually automated. They had a guy behind the wall
Behind them.
who would pull the door open when someone approached.
And they're like, fascinating.
One of my
What's
favorite,
stupid
like,
is that I
like-
would sit there and listen, like, so interested, like, tell me more.
one of my favorite, like kind of like Star Trek parody kind of things was it was like a Family Guy episode where they had like the TNG cast up there, and like all the people were up there asking questions or whatever, and like I think they were expecting him to ask Star Trek questions. He's like, "Oh well, I keep getting my scalp is itchy. Is it like an allergy or is it because I have dry skin?" And it's like, I don't know, it was just stupid.
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that?
No.
I think it was like Stewie was at like a convention and like a bunch of people were asking them questions. And Patrick Stewart was like, "Do you take hot showers?"
Oh, wait, no. I do remember that one. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
So who was everybody's favorite captain?
Oh, God, that's a fucking question. Just haunts my whole life.
That's a tough one.
They're all
Mine's
good in their own
obvious.
ways.
Yeah, I like Kirk, though I wouldn't say he's my favorite. But like Kirk works for TOS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have had any other type of captain. It had to be Kirk. And crazy enough, I think Shatner's like a better actor than people give him credit for.
No, for sure.
Especially, I mean, yeah, he did get really silly and over the top later. But like in TOS, I think he's actually like doing a pretty solid job overall.
Even in the movies, he's pretty good. Like,
Yeah. I think it's by the time he was completely done with Trek is when he started getting really silly.
yeah,
Mhm.
Rocket
But
Man.
start at the right and straight on till morning. I do love me some Picard.
I just love his like no nonsense wit, but then he could be fun at times too.
Yeah. Well, I liked he was all business.
Yeah,
Like leave me alone. I'm just trying to read my book. Like he never socialized with the crew until the very end,
yeah.
Yeah.
which is a great moment. Fantastic moment.
Mhm.
I'm leaning towards Cisco actually.
Yeah.
Cisco is easily the most developed.
Yeah.
I always go for the Cisco. But I mean, they all have like their own particular. It depends on what you want in a captain, because Picard's the very by the book, golden boy kind of captain.
Yeah.
You got Janeway, who
was just fucking
flip-flops
crazy
a
half
lot.
the time.
I mean, I love Janeway.
I do
Coffee
too.
black, and Kate Mulgrew. She's fantastic.
I love
Mhm.
her.
If you guys have ever watched the show Orange Is the New Black, she's in that as Red. The
I know when I
cafeteria
ever
lady.
saw that, I used to watch it years ago. When I ever saw her, and I was like,
Janeway, yeah.
cool.
And she's great in that
Janeway.
show too. She's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah,
So,
she's so fun.
yeah. I love Kate Mulgrew and love Janeway, but I can't have her as my favorite, especially when she's so like on edge about everything.
That was one of my favorite reviews of Star Trek, where they were. It was a review for Nemesis, and that one little cameo she has, where she's Admiral. They the reviewer just pauses and goes, "They made her a fucking Admiral." Like,
How dare they?
and then it just goes to a compilation of all of her fucking insane moments from Voyager, and I'm just like, yes,
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were out in the Delta Quadrant, so they wouldn't know.
See, for me though, I feel like out of all the captains, like Cisco is the one I would want to follow into like a shitty situation the most because
Yeah.
I feel like out of all of them, he's the one captain. I could have never had a single exchange with him. And I feel like he would go to the ends of the earth to fucking get justice. For, if
he was what was right was right. It didn't matter about Starfleet's rules or this person. What was right was right. And like, that's what made him the Cisco.
Yeah. Though I do think Janeway rectifies herself a little bit at the end of the Voyager finale. You know, like the ends that she goes to make everything right. I'm like, that was a nice end of her character arc, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do love in
no Jonathan Archer.
He's fine.
That's not even a fun.
I actually haven't watched Enterprise yet.
No Burnham. No.
He gets his best moments are at the end of the fucking series, right when it gets canceled. Like,
yeah. So I'll say, do we want to talk about Discovery or any of the Paramount Plus Trek?
I watched one episode of Discovery and went, nope.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Discovery of Strange New Worlds. I love Lower Decks.
Lower Decks is fun, but it's fun in the sense of like, oh, it's not like that big of a deal. You know, I just kind of turn my brain off.
Ironically, it's the most Star Trek feeling of all the spin-offs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's Prodigy. There's Prodigy, which I think Janeway actually comes back.
Yeah, Prodigy was the show that like
a lot of people. Yeah, Doctor.
We were
everything.
playing that game. That was.
Oh yeah, the Prodigy game.
Oh yeah. They did make a video game for it.
I haven't played really any Trek games.
I have that first-person shooter on PS2.
Oh, the Voyager one? That was made by Raven. Ravensoft made that. Yeah, I heard that game's not bad.
It's pretty good first-person shooter.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about diving into some of them.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do some Trek. We should do some Trek games. That'd be fun.
Let's do a side series. We could be part of 3D or whatever.
3DO. We'll play.
Weirdly enough, a Trek game makes so much sense on 3DO. You know, like like an FMV type game where it's like you're trying to control the holodeck or whatever. You know, like there was a Star Trek PC game where it's basically like you're following around Q. I can't remember what it was called.
That sounds great.
Oh yeah, there was a canceled Star Trek game for 3DO. Apparently, that's why I was thinking it.
That makes sense. Oh, Star Trek Borg. That's the game I'm thinking. That is there's the Star Trek Klingon game on PC as well. Where I think that's where people started to learn Klingon as a language, which is I think that's a little too far.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love the Klingon, but I have no desire.
That's so cool though.
Yeah. But yeah, Discovery. My problem is the people in charge of Trek. I don't think understand why people like Star Trek. Genuinely.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Even though like Picard starts out so fucking bad, but by the end it does redeem itself and it's like kind of okay. But all the bullshit you have to go through with Picard to get to the end is not really worth it, but it is kind of satisfying and actually puts a proper cap on TNG the way Nemesis didn't. Like that, like the ending of Picard makes up for Nemesis. Genuinely.
Yeah. I love that scene at the end of season 2 where Picard and Q had their little moment.
Yeah, that was a nice moment. That was. It has some of those nice It has some of those nice moments, but you have to wade through some bullshit to get to those nice moments.
Yeah, I feel like it was almost like a clickbait article. You know what I mean? Like you want to hear the rest of the story, but you get
like the moment where you see all of the the datas and they're all just like slaves doing like their tasks or whatever, and I'm just like, we're really pretending Measure of a Man didn't exist, and then hear all these Qs doing everything for everybody.
To be fair,
Data's not Q, Data.
To be fair, Voyager kind of shadowed Measure of a Man first because they had their whole does the Doctor have rights, and then they ultimately decided that he didn't have rights.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Makes no sense because I mean, if you look at the way that we treat court stuff now, you would look at previous cases compared to the current case, and they didn't do
Yeah.
that at all.
Mm.
Oh God, yeah. See, the court ones make me anxious. Like,
But I have not seen Strange New Worlds. I've heard it's not great either.
I heard it's better than Discovery.
Yeah,
Even
but
though Discovery
that's
sets
a
it
low
up.
bar.
Yeah, Discovery was bad.
I've heard.
Discovery is like people trying to throw in like modern like millennial Gen Z crap into Trek, and it's like you don't need. That's not why people like Trek. You don't have to do that. Like Voyage Home is an example of putting modern culture in Trek in a way that works.
Mhm.
You know, like that's a great example of it. But really, but they don't do that here. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's lame. It's just Discovery's lame. And
Discovery
then,
was like making a modern sci-fi and then just sticking the Star Trek name on it and thinking that will instantly make people like it.
It's like they thought Galaxy Quest was real.
I mean, even Galaxy Quest is more entertaining than Discovery.
Oh, Galaxy Quest is great. Love that fucking movie. What was the Seth MacFarlane Star Trek show?
The Orville.
Yeah,
The
I was
Orville.
actually about to say-
The Orville's not bad. It's not
I
great.
was just about to say my favorite new Trek is the Orville.
Yeah,
It's better than all the new Trek that's been happened. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's better than all the actual
But I feel
Trek.
like it fits in well. Like
It works
because
confirming
Seth
for a Trek.
MacFarlane has respect for what makes Trek work.
I
you
believe
know?
Robert Duncan McNeil actually directed a bunch of episodes of The Orville as well.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of Trek actors directed and acted in it. Actually, what's his name? I forget it. Whoever played Tuvok, he was in an episode.
Oh,
the Doctor
what's
was in
the-
an episode. The Doctor was in a couple episodes.
The Doctor. Oh wait, we're talking about different. Yates.
Oh yeah, the Doctor
in that show.
of the Orville was
Yeah.
a character in DS9. Like there was a bunch of Star Trek all over.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
know Cisco's girlfriend there. Like, remember, like she was like, you guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Cassidy Yates.
Cassidy Yates, that's her name. Yeah, she was. The
Yeah, you got to do
Doctor
the
in
Cisco
Orville, and
voice.
it took me a minute because like she aged so beautifully. I was like, she looks so familiar. And then we watched DS9. I'm like, she looks like she's only like 10 years older. Like, how the hell? Like,
Yaphet.
oh my god, yeah, that was great.
I don't know. The weirdest thing for me, like a character from Star Trek appearing in something else, was Tim Russ was like the principal in iCarly, and I'm just like, what is this?
Oh yeah.
It's so random.
How
No,
about
he's
Tim
the
Russ
vice.
being
He's the
fucking...
vice principal, not the principal.
Yeah, the
remember?
vice principal.
Yeah, he
also,
always had the shades. Yeah.
He also famously played the one of the Afro pick holding Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. We
He
ain't
was-
found shit.
Yeah, he was we ain't found shit guy.
Everyone on the ship's an asshole.
Sir, do you think
Oh, I
we're being a little too literal here? No, we're combing the desert. That's what they said. We're combing it. You guys found anything?
God, it's such Mel Brooks fucking humor.
Yeah. God. I'm trying to think of another crazy episode.
Oh, there's endless amounts of them. Friggin' Tapestry.
Oh,
The first time
Tapestry was great.
First time I watched that episode, and it's like, oh, Picard dies, and he's like, it's just all white, and he just turns around and his Q there. I'm like, this motherfucker's gone now. Okay. And even he's just like, nope, no, this isn't happening. This isn't true.
I do love that.
It's
See,
fantastic.
Time's Arrow is great.
Yep.
What was the Voyager episode where like they create that weird like special drive that goes super fast, and then like they crash, and then like the whole thing is them coming from the future to come back and stop the ship from crashing.
I actually just watched that episode today.
I can't remember the name of it.
I literally just watched it like a few hours ago. I can't remember the name though.
All I remember is they crash on an ice planet, and then the only two that survive are Chakotay and Harry Kim.
Mm-hmm. Because Harry Kim always survives.
Except that one episode where he died and then came back.
Well, yeah, he died, and then like he shifted to like a copy Voyager, and then the original Voyager crew died, so he's the only original crew left.
Yeah, it's weird because like when you're watching it, like every once in a while, it's like it'll just hit you like, wait, that's not this Harry Kim. I don't know. The time thing, like it just every once in a while watching the show, I'll think about it and be like, "How are you doing? How would that
Voyager crew gets
affect you?"
duplicated
You know
a
what I
lot.
mean? Like that's gotta affect.
Yeah,
you.
it does.
That's weird.
Yeah, they create a slime Voyager and then it disintegrates in one episode.
They did a lot of weird shit in that show with that type of stuff. Like, sorry,
So-
It has a lot of great moments. It does.
Who was
Oh,
your
for sure.
favorite like random celebrity cameo episode?
There's a few.
Hold on.
The Rock.
Iggy Pop.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that was a good one.
Dude,
I mean,
there's a lot.
Kurtwood Smith and Year of Hell.
The
whole
dad from that 70s show.
The whole
He
time.
makes he makes the best villains. Like he's the villain in fucking RoboCop.
He was in a
Yeah.
lot of Trek, actually. He played the president of the Federation in one of the movies.
Oh yeah. Fuck, which one was that?
I want to say
Oh,
Search for Spock? Or no, I think it was the one with the whales.
Voyage. I think it is Voyage
the
Home.
whales.
Yeah. Yeah.
wait, I think it was the one with the whales. I'm not sure. The guy who played the dad in Seventh Heaven is in one of the movies.
That's that's motion picture.
He was actually
Stephen Collins.
Yeah, he did some nasty shit. He was the actor. He actually did. Because earlier we were talking about
He
like
is one of the actual problems.
Riker, and I said no,
Yeah.
not Riker. He's the only one I know of in Star Trek that ever. And he was like really young when he did the Star Trek movie, like super young. What's his name? Yeah, Stephen Collins. That's right. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's Decker. That's right. Decker. That's what I was thinking of.
That's it.
That's what I was thinking of because Phase 2 was meant to
Yeah.
be like Decker was going to be the captain.
Yeah, but and The Rock, I think he fought 7 of 9 in like a wrestling.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. The Rock
Oh, yeah.
shows up in Voyager. I
Yeah.
always forget about that.
There was like a bunch of like weird.
Voyager had the weirdest cameos. Like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine appears in one episode.
Of course,
So
he's a
many
Trek
famous-
fan. Of course, he is.
He just
Dude,
plays
so
a
many
random
famous
officer on the ship.
What was the episode? There was an episode of TNG that was supposed to be Robin Williams. They wrote the role specifically for him, but it ended up being, I forget the actor's name, but if you guys remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the neighbor's dad.
Moranis?
The neighbor's dad. Yeah, he ended up taking the Robin Williams role.
Oh, and also Tom Paris, before he was Tom Paris,
Is in TNG.
Is in TNG. Yeah, that was like a fun
Yeah.
one.
Though
Like,
it's clear he is Tom Paris,
but
they're
he's
not gonna
literally
call
yeah,
him
he's
that.
literally like the same
But they're not
He's like
going to
a
call
writer.
him Tom Paris, yeah, because they didn't want to give that writer
Mhm.
credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. Same like
What's
story,
What's his
though.
name of that episode? Palm Terrace or something?
Something like that.
I love
There was
anytime
also-
Gene Roddenberry's wife appears as
Oh, Majel Barrett,
She's
she's
my
the
bitch.
best.
yeah
She's my
when
bitch.
she's Delana not Delana
Luoxana.
Luxwan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a crazy Trek cameo. You guys know the band Fleetwood Mac, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
The drummer Mick Fleetwood was one of the weird like characters on the Manhunt. You know, remember like the fish people?
Oh yeah,
Apparently, he's one of them.
you remember that?
I was just looking up Trek cameos, and I was like, "What?" And it's like, yeah,
Sarah Silverman was in Voyager.
she
Oh,
is. Yes, she is.
Yeah, that's right.
There's another guy's in Voyager. He has like curly hair. I can't remember his name. But he was in like those. Oh, I gotta try to remember.
Wasn't that guy from like was it from Seinfeld? Was a guy from Seinfeld that was in it?
Oh, the George was in one episode, I believe.
Oh yeah, he was Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
Yeah, that's not who I was thinking of though. I gotta look it up.
Looking up a thing of a Trek celebrity cameos.
Hold on.
I bit my cheek.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I
Oh,
always-
Jason Biggs. Jason Biggs.
Hmm.
He's in Voyager as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Voyager had a
forget,
lot.
I forget which episode he's in, but I know I remember like watching it. I was showing up like, oh, that's the American Pie dude.
Mm.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, and the farmer from Babe.
Oh yeah. One of the Monty Python guys was in that one mindfuck episode in Voyager where they're in like
Eric Idle, I think.
Eric Idle, yeah. That episode is so fucking insane.
It's a great
The Tank Girl. That's it. The Tank Girl. You guys seen that movie?
Tank Girl.
Yeah.
Is that the?
Something
That's
like
not the
that.
That's not the Pamela Anderson one. No, that's Barbarella.
Mhm. No, I don't know if I don't think you guys see it. What's her name? Lori
I haven't-
Petty.
I haven't thought of Tank Girl in over 10 years.
Oh
It
god,
was
that's a cover right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
she was in
Oh yeah. She was in a League of Their
Voyager
Own. I know that one.
Gravity. Yes, A League of Their Own, exactly.
That's a great
I love
movie.
that movie.
That's a great movie.
Oh damn, this movie bombed.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Stephen Hawking was in an episode.
Believe it or not, there was a time where superhero movies were not successful at the box office.
I mean, look at that cover.
I mean, they're making fucking Tank Girl.
That's no Girls on Panzer. That's a
It,
reference.
it blows my mind that game doesn't have a shitty Super Nintendo game.
I know, right? That looks like something you'd see.
Absolutely.
I actually just discovered that there's a DS9 game on Super Nintendo, and
Yes, there is.
Oh,
It is.
Kirsten
It's a side-scrolling actiony kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Crossroads of Time, I believe it's called. Yeah, I
And
played
yeah,
it before.
You're right, Cindy. I forgot that Kirsten Dunst was in an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She played Deanna Troy's dead older sister.
Yeah. It's telepath. Yeah, because she couldn't talk or something. Remember, she didn't have a concept. Like she couldn't talk.
Well,
I don't-
Luoxana had like a mental breakdown because she like had like
Oh, no, here it is.
compartmentalized
Hold on.
that memory.
It says upside blah blah blah. Hedgehog. A telepathic girl with no concept of spoken language. Find her in extra dark page. Maybe we'll watch it later to see.
I don't know if it counts as a celebrity cameo, but Christopher Lloyd is the Klingon in Search for Spock.
Yes,
Of course.
yes.
Of
Yeah.
course it does.
He was the
But
first
that was-
Klingon in the
that's-
makeup.
But that's pre Back to the Future, I think. But I don't know if he was like a celebrity.
Oh,
He's
the
just an
Addams
actor.
Family Lurch.
Oh yeah, Lurch. Yep.
One of my favorites. We had done it when we talked about Star Trek, like way back on the show. But David Ogen Steers was in that one episode on TNG early on. Which one was it?
Half a Life.
Half a Life. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good
Remember that
episode.
one. The guy from MASH.
Yeah.
The guy from MASH.
The guy that replaced the guy from MASH, I should say, because he wasn't. Oh man.
Freaking MASH. My mom loves that show.
I've seen all of it.
Yeah, Cindy's
Yeah.
parents watched that one a lot.
I used
think
to
I've-
watch it when I was a kid, yeah.
I think I've seen all of MASH like by proxy. Like I've never actually sat down and watched an episode, but
I've got the box set upstairs. up in
Whoopi
my-
Goldberg. Did we all forget about that?
Oh yeah, she's in
And
there.
then-
she was amazing. But she
she's
wasn't a
part of, like-
cameo. She was a
yeah,
cast
she's-
member.
Yeah, exactly. She was
Well,
like,
she's actually wasn't in that many episodes when you actually look at the whole.
Yeah. No,
she
but-
was
no, but
technically
she's-
part of the
she's
crew. In
part
your
of-
mind,
yeah.
she was there.
Yeah, she was part of the crew.
Well, she was like one of those like. She was like a guest. Like her name wasn't in the credits at the beginning, so she was a regular,
True.
but she wasn't like a main cast.
Yeah, yeah. But she's so good.
Oh, another John Rhys Davies as the Janeway's buddy, like whenever she was hanging out in the holodeck.
Oh fuck! What was his name in that? I forgot.
The Irish guys she was banging.
Whoa.
No, the inventor. It's an actual guy he was playing. I can't remember the name right now.
I don't remember.
Why is this driving me nuts?
Okay. Next
Oh.
generation. Who watches The Watchers?
That's a good one.
Wait, but listen. Did you know
Mm-hmm.
that the King of the Hills, Bobby Hill, was voiced by a woman, Pamela Adlon from
Adlon, yep.
Californication and Better Things,
Mm-hmm.
and she was that girl in that episode. That dude. What? We have to Google that. Tell me if that's right.
Dad.
Bobby Hill? Bitch, no.
Oh, he was Leonardo da Vinci, and that's what I'm thinking in the
Right.
Voyager. I always remember the episode where he got the doctor's mobile emitter, and like this alien race was just giving him all this tech to make shit.
Yeah. OG is Pamela Adlon,
With
who voices Bobby Hill. Yeah.
And Pajama Sam.
Pajama Sam.
Pajama Sam is also Pamela Adlon.
the guy who played Grima Wormtongue was in Voyager.
Oh, really?
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
He was the
Tom Hardy.
the Beta Z.
That movie almost ruined Tom Hardy's career.
Before it even got started.
I know.
Yeah, he was the crazy Beta Z
Tom Hardy.
in Voyager, where he like
he was
like
the best.
he didn't have the telepathy powers, or he like went nuts.
The scene.
Oh, apparently Seth MacFarlane is like a redshirt officer in a couple episodes of Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same era.
The episode of
Furman era, yeah.
You guys that just happened again.
Are you
You're
hearing
telling me
ghosts?
there's nobody in the background of you guys' houses?
No.
Like,
Well, it looks like your door's opening
oh
behind
my
you.
fucking god, are you shitting me, Xander? Are you kidding me? I almost peed my pants. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh my god.
Mystery solved.
Holy shit.
Spooky child.
Anyway, sorry about that.
So now I gotta go back and watch Trek, man. My memory of it is really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much good shit.
There's a lot of Trek, man.
I was actually laughing though that one thing that always bothered the fuck out of me in Nemesis, that picture where like they're on the bridge and like Crusher's like, hey, look at this picture I found, and it's a picture of Tom Hardy there because they're trying to like make that whole comparison.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the whole time I'm just like, did he lose a fucking bet? Did you have to shave his head? Like,
Probably.
It looks so unnatural.
It looks
why
so
is he-
bad.
why is he bald? Like he had hair back then. There's so many things in that movie that bother me, like when they just go randomly dirt biking in the desert for no reason.
But I think overall we can say with Trek, after Enterprise, don't bother.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch
For the most
probably.
part, yeah.
You can watch Lower
The
Decks.
first J.J. Abrams movie, you can watch that one.
Yeah,
That one's a fun movie.
you can
I
watch
enjoyed Prodigy.
Okay,
Prodigy and Lower Decks are fine, but like just don't take them seriously.
Picard,
Prodigy's like
has
the Clone
moments-
Wars of Trek.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. I like Clone Wars, but
and then,
I don't put it on the same level.
Like, oh, have kids. It's fun. Fucking shit, man.
It's good for the species, they said.
Sorry about that. I can't say
That
that
was
the
probably
first-
the voice you heard earlier.
I don't
Yeah.
know because I heard it through this.
It wasn't a woman's voice. It was just a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this time it sounded.
She
like
thinks
a kid.
she's a woman.
What?
Nothing.
Who? I am a woman. I know I've had 2 kids, but either way, the first time it sounded like a woman. This time it sounded like a kid. That's why. But okay, next time, don't say, "Oh, the door's opening behind you." That was a hard.
I thought it was the cat, so I didn't say anything, but I did see it happen.
Literally. Oh my god! I thought if Xander had popped up, I would have punched my own kid on a fucking recording. Like I've seen
Probably for the best
scary
I
movies.
told you then.
It's not here first.
I would know it is good you warned me because I like
That'd
I've
been
seen
rough.
way too many scary movies, man. And it's always the kids. But the first time I
Don't
really
tell the
heard
porn.
like a woman's voice, it was weird.
So
Anyways, continue.
we were in. It's been a good hour and a half. I think we were in a good process of closing this one out for now. Where were we? I lost my track of. Oh yeah, we were saying like
we're
Star
talking about
Trek kind of.
celebrity people.
Well, no, we were kind of wrapping up like Star Trek. Everything after Enterprise, it's kind of like you can watch the first Abrams film. Lower Decks is fine. Lower Decks is like the Rick and Morty of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cute. I love it.
Yeah. And like Rick and Morty, it loses steam.
Yeah. Well, it got canceled too fast to lose steam.
Yeah. Yeah. I have issues with Rick and Morty, but that's a different show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I just said Rick and Morty because that's what it looks like, but
It fits.
Well,
it absolutely fits.
some of the creators from Rick and Morty made it, so yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but any other closing thoughts, or
Section 31 is terrible.
is that the movie, or because I haven't been following?
That's
it.
Yeah, it
that's the
just
most
came
that's
out.
the
I haven't
most
seen
that's
it
the
yet.
most recent
We haven't
one.
seen
Yeah,
it yet.
it's pretty rough.
That
man.
makes me mad because there's so much potential with that.
Yeah,
makes me
but
mad.
See, it should have been Bashir. Should have been Bashir.
I don't even want to watch it now.
Yeah.
I will, but I don't want to.
All right.
But
Well, anyways,
well, I was
so-
gonna
so
say,
now-
like I,
So now we're gonna watch the entirety of TOS and come back and talk about TOS.
hey, I'm up for it.
I was
don't,
actually just talking about how I want to rewatch.
don't put the
everything.
chips down because I'll match, bro.
Give me an excuse to watch it again.
nice.
Hell yeah.
But hey, Thrak, thanks for joining us on this
Sure,
wonderful
sure.
episode of Geek Addicts. Cyndi, once again, thank you for hopping on.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. I almost said 3DO.
Not 3D.
I don't know what show I'm on. Yeah, thanks for joining us on Geek Addicts, guys. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. Also, check us out on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site featuring a whole bunch of awesome shows, blogs, videos. We're currently doing a series of blogs talking about our favorite PlayStation 1 games. I just had an article on Tiny Tank come out. Be sure to check that out. And Thrak, your article is coming out soon, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think it's out this week. It's about Medal of Honor,
Nice.
the first
So,
one. Yeah,
you
I did some research for it.
Nice. Yeah, I was there. I watched when you were playing it. It was fun.
Yeah.
And just a quick shout out. Me and Thrak actually have a project that should be out by the end of the month. It is called 3D Owned, and we'll be covering our first game for that. So be sure to look out for that one. And
It's his favorite game.
yeah, it's pretty obvious. We went on for
past by the time it comes out.
yeah, it'll probably be out by the time this is out. But shouting it out anyways. Check it out. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.
I love that Matt and Thrak did that at the same time.
Perfect. Perfect. It fits.
See you guys.